All right. So, along with everything that I've done on YouTube so far, I think the most entertaining videos have been full frame versus micro four thirds. Don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't like micro four thirds. I love micro four thirds. I have bought three micro four thirds cameras, and my favorite one so far is the one I have, which is the GH7. My favorite image from the micro four thirds is the GH6, but that one, there's no point having a beautiful image if it's blur, because the autofocus sucks and I don't have time to become a manual focus artist. I just want to go on holiday and enjoy myself. So, sold the GH6, moved to the G9 Mark II. Didn't like the handling of the G9 Mark II. So the GH7 is basically the handling of the GH6 with the image quality of the G9 Mark II. So GH7, love it. I think the colors are great, the image is good, and for what Micro Four Thirds gives you, it is a very filmic image with a very deep focus. When it comes to making ugly people look nice, I don't think Micro Four Thirds is as helpful as full frame, because full frame helps you to blur a lot of stuff, make things feel more dreamy than they actually are. And if you don't have a good backdrop like this, then full frame, no, if you don't have a good backdrop, like me not having a good backdrop, it's not that I have a good backdrop. This backdrop is not curated at all. The fish tank behind me, I have not topped up the water in a long time. That's why it sounds like there's urine. There's a perpetual urine sound going on in the back. I don't know if you can hear it, but to me, I can hear it and it sounds like urine. So this battle between Micro Four Thirds and full frame, I think is ridiculous, because it's just small sensor versus big sensor, big lens versus small lens. Actually, if you take the full frame lens and you plonk it in front of a Micro Four Thirds sensor and you manage to focus somehow, the bokeh is the same. You're just getting this you're just getting this image. So you don't see any of the fall off of the lens, because in with full frame you get that. So you get everything here. But with Micro Four Thirds and you use a full frame lens, you can't run away from lenses. So that's what you get. And it just feels a bit odd on the Micro Four Thirds sensor. Plus it will generally blow up whatever's in that center big to 4K. So I don't think the image is worse, but it definitely is different. It's deeper, it's more documentary-ish in its nature, because a lot of documentaries were shot on very small sensors with those camcorder stuff, right? So there's a vibe with the smaller sensor, and film leads itself to larger sensors, especially in today's context lah. So I think it's just a matter of what you're going for. I feel like there's a sense of nostalgia and romanticism with the olden days of yore and film cameras, when we took photos, like our fathers and mostly dads lah, took pictures of family photos with the SLR cameras, the ones that usually had lenses and you had to put a film behind. They had a unique quality to it, which is because it's not so much that the sensor is bigger, it's because it might mean it's both, but the lens is bigger and the sensor captures what the lens sees. So then that leads itself to a whole slew of images that came out at a certain era. So I find shooting photographs on full frame mimics that experience, and it makes moments of people, not so much of the background of the space. It's very subject oriented. So when you're taking subjects, I really do think full frame leads itself to feel a sense of feel like you're capturing a moment of the subject in time, and it kind of heightens that moment and it makes it feel almost romanticized. Phones are ultra small sensors that we're all almost hyper used to. So they do capture the moment. It captures the moment almost in a way that everybody understands the moment should be captured on the phone. So it can become a little bit boring just because we're so used to that kind of sensor size and lens size. You kind of run away from composition. So I find the smaller the sensor, the less blown out your background, the better you need to be at composing. So I think if you ran around becoming a phone photographer, I feel the chances of you becoming a very good, in general, photographer is higher because composition tends to be more important than lens blowout, background blowout sensor size. Yeah. So all that said is, I think every camera has a purpose and everyone is entitled to a preference. And my preference is more the merrier because it's fun. And today I'm shooting on the Lumix S9 with the TT Artisan 40mm f2 at f2. And it is beautiful. It is very beautiful. And I like it. Good luck trying to get this image out of a Micro Four Thirds. Not even luck. You can't. Wait, can you? Yeah, you can. With no autofocus. So to get this image on Micro Four Thirds, you need a 20mm lens at f0.95 with autofocus. That thing is going to be so freaking huge and expensive, right? I think that lens alone, if it even exists, will cost more than the Lumix S9 with this lens. And at that point, you should be asking yourself, why on earth would you buy that? Because I would just buy a new camera. I'll buy the Lumix S9 and this lens. So I think it's a very moot point to try and make Micro Four Thirds look like full frame. And I think it's almost disingenuous of people telling you that you can. I mean, just because you can doesn't mean you should. I think you're not. I think if you buy Micro Four Thirds, I think you should really lean into what it does best, which is deep focus, capturing the moment with the environment. Filmic, documentary, home videos actually look very nice on Micro Four Thirds. I actually think videos look amazing on Micro Four Thirds. But I mean, these are just my opinions lah. I don't think one is truly better than the other. But I think objectively for certain types of content, full frame will be better, and certain types of content, full frame will be worse. For me, because my background is shit and my face is fat-ish. I mean, I put on 10 kg over like the last 1.5 years, so yes, this is fat to me. Full frame is helpful to smooth out everything, and maybe when I manage to lose weight and more hair, the deep focus of Micro Four Thirds might be nicer on my face. I don't know, but for now, TT Artisan 40mm f2 at f2 on the S9 is nice. Douche tuber setup, PM bright, cozy. And my personal favorite, red and green. Makes no sense. I'm in a brothel. Anyway, so I will exit this video with the douche tuber setup and say bye bye. Thank you for watching. I like this lens. It only cost me 200 something Singapore dollars, which is actually 100 something US dollars. And you can buy a Lumix S9 today, second hand in Singapore, for about 1,005. That would be around 1,001 USD. So for a grand total of 1,300 1400 USD, you can get a full frame with a 40mm f2 autofocus, compact, and you can use it as a webcam like this. How nice. Okay, so thanks for watching and goodbye.